Hello and welcome to episode number 65 of WITM, Raw Monday Night Raw. In case you're wondering, I did do the rankings update off screen before I even began this episode. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But first, we have a promo. As you can see, Andrew is on his way to the ring following the unexpected events of 205 Live that saw Hideo Itami and one of the Bollywood boys jump attack Andrew as he was making his way to the ring for a match that was scheduled to be the AA Hardcore Cruisers versus the Bollywood Boys. We did not get that match following the attack. So Andrew's on his way to the ring now. Will he address the events of 205 Live? Let's find out. Alright, Andrew speaks. I'm going to make this short and sweet. Triple H, I know you're back there, and I'm ticked off. So get down here. I need to have a few words with you.
Behold the King of Kings. On your knees, dog.
Alright. Andrew continues. You know, maybe it's my own fault. Because last week on Raw, I actually believed in most of what you had to say. About you wanting me to bear the torch for Raw. About you believing we could finally end this feud between us. I held up my end of the deal so far, and I went down to NXT, and I helped Bo Dallas get a victory. And then I went to 205 Live for my tag team match. And what do you know? Here comes a Hideo Itami and a Bollywood boy jumping me on the ramp. And you know, it's funny, because didn't I just reach an agreement with your wife that she sent people after me, or Austin, or Corey again? She is removed from power as Raw COO. Triple H responds, now wait a minute. You have no proof whatsoever that Stephanie, myself, or any member of the authority had anything whatsoever to do with that attack. I do want to work with you, Andrew. I do want to finally bury the hatchet. That's why I'm been having you go help Bo Dallas, because I know you can prove that you are everything you claim to be. Now, Tommy and Sierra, they're not convinced yet, and I'm willing to bet they want to make a statement about you not choosing them to mentor. I mean, after all, you did turn your back on Tommy when all he wanted to do was be a hardcore cruiser a few years ago. It's simple. What goes around comes around. That's all that it was. I had nothing to do with it. But I'll tell you what I will do, Andrew. I'll book a match for the next edition of 205 Live. A 6-man tag, where you're going to give them the opportunity that they crave, as well as someone else. It's going to be Hideo Itami and the Bollywood Boys versus the AA Hardcore Cruisers and a 205 Live Cruiserweight of your choosing. Fine, Andrew responds. But if this happens again, or I find proof that the authority was behind this peace that you're hoping for, it won't happen. Not until at least one of you is out of power.
Show
Alright, so Andrew did address the events of 205 Live that saw one of the Bollywood Boys and Hideo Itami jump attack Andrew during his entrance for that opening tag team match against the Bollywood Boys. Andrew, following capital punishment, it was signed and agreed upon between Andrew and Stephanie McMahon that if the Authority continue to attack former members of the Purity Society, as Lesnar did to Andrew in a previous 205 Live, Stephanie would be out of power. Andrew, of course, thought that the Authority was behind that attack on 205 Live. Triple H claims that is not the case, that Sirah and Itami were just simply upset that Andrew did not choose them for a mentorship. So there will be a 6-man tag team match on the next edition of 205 Live, where the Bollywood Boys, both Bollywood Boys, as well as Hideo Itami, will take on the AA Hardcore Cruisers and a 205 Live Cruiserweight of Andrew's choosing. But that is in the future. As you can see on your screen, we have tag team action right here on Raw. It's going to be the AA Hardcore Cruisers taking on the Hype Bros in elimination tag team action. So let's get this Raw started.
Looking at tonight's card, we really do have all hands on deck for this one. Singles action coming your way. We have one of our breakout talents in a match for the record books.
Alright, so we kick this Raw off with Samoa Joe in Falls Count Anywhere action against Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt picks up the victory. Curtis Axel takes on Titus O'Neil. And it's somewhat of an upset victory for Curtis Axel, who is in danger of demotion. But he's been doing better as of late. Enzo and Cass take on the New Day, and the tag team champions of Raw will defeat the New Day, represented by Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Raw Women's Champion Emma takes on Dana Brooke, and it's a victory for Emma. So a good night so far for the champions of Raw. Kevin Owens takes on Dolph Ziggler, and it's a victory for Dolph Ziggler. Alright, and the AA Hardcore Cruisers will be taking on Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, the Hype Bros, for the first time. Now, as I mentioned, I did the rankings update off screen before I recorded this Raw, and because the AA Hardcore Cruisers did not have a match last week, they're supposed to. Of course, we know what happened with that on 205 Live. They have moved down in the rankings because the Hype Bros defeated the New Day last week, and Gallows and Anderson got a non-title victory over the Raw Tag Team Champions Enzo and Cass. The AA Hardcore Cruisers have moved down to 3, the Hype Bros have moved up to 2, and Gallows and Anderson have moved up to number 1 in the Raw Tag Team title rankings. So it's going to be number 3 Hardcore Cruisers versus number 2 Hype Bros. If the Hype Bros win, they will be the number 1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team titles going forward. If the Hardcore Cruisers win, they'll take that 2 slot currently held by the Hype Bros. So, important match for both teams. Potential number 1 and 2 contendership implications here in this match. It's the AA Hardcore Cruisers versus the Hype Bros. Elimination tag team action. Let's go.
Buckle up, because we have a contest that's going to blow the roof off this place.
I hope it's not raining outside.
We have a real fan favorite. taking on some tough competition. I love it.
Listen up, there's not a moment to spare. It's quite a drop from the top, so how you feeling down there? It's a cold, cruel, harsh reality. Caught, stuck here with your enemies. Who do you think you are? Tearing us all apart. Where did you think you could go? 'Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You're taking all that you please. You want more, but you get nothing from me. You like the burden we bear. You love the hate that we share. You want more, but you get nothing from me. But enemies, enemies. You started something that you just couldn't stop. You turned the ones that you love into the angriest mob. And the one last wish is that you pay for it. And there's no way you're getting out of this. Who do you think you are? Tearing us all apart. Where did you think you could go? 'Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You're taking all that you please. You want more, but you get nothing from me. You like the burden we bear. You love the hate that we share. You want more, but you get nothing from me. But enemies, enemies, enemies.
get hype, we stay hype.
You know it, bro.
Bro.
Hype, bros.
Hype.
Alright, so here we go. The number 2 tag team, the Hype Bros, versus number 3 tag team, the Double Hardcore Cruisers, in their first meeting ever. We start off with Austin Aries, the current number 1 contender to the United States Championship, and, or rather, number 2 contender, Miz is number 1 contender. Going up against the former United States champion, Zack Ryder. Elbow drop to the back of Aries. Ryder up to the middle rope.
Oh, and he eats the canvas.
And misses.
Zack Ryder for a moment. What does he need to do to make sure his
Aries
team comes out on top here?
It's still early, but I really like what I'm seeing from him and his partner here
tags
tonight.
in Andrew, who I mentioned when the audio wasn't working, but obviously you didn't hear that, so I'll mention again. Sporting new attire. For the first time in quite a few years, we've seen color changes before, but still pretty much just color changes of the same attire. This is Andrew's first time. He has not worn the classic singlet in about 5 years. So, Andrew changing things up here, and I quite like the no look. Of course, Andrew does, so. Andrew punching away at the head. Oh, and also, speaking of Andrew, as we saw, I changed his title entrance because he had the same problem my character had in the past with the championship the championship missing under his t-shirt. So now he has the one where he carries it on his shoulder to the ring. All right. Back to calling the match. Punch by Andrew. Big clothesline sends Mojo Rawley out of the ring. And that now Andrew's going to take the opportunity to tag in Austin Aries.
Back between the ropes.
Rawley back in the ring. Rawley along with Austin Aries, a character that we will have official models of in the future in a DLC. No idea when that is coming out. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Although the Aries call is really good, and Rawley's is decent.
Wasn't happy with his spot. Went out and literally grabbed the brass ring.
Yeah, you talk about determination, Cole. It's that type of determination that makes Zack Ryder an internet sensation.
It's another tag for Hardcore Cruisers. Frequent tags, keeping each other fresh early on in this match. Knowing that this is an important match if they want to have any hope whatsoever of taking on Enzo and Cass for the Raw Tag Team titles at SummerSlam. Andrew goes for a cover. Ryder powers out at 2. Series of elbow strikes by Andrew.
Not only does Zack Ryder
forces Ryder to his feet. Reversal by Ryder. Face buster. Knee drop. Stomp to the arm. Another stomp. Knee by Andrew.
And here's a cover.
Andrew goes for cover. And Ryder powers out at 2. Really trying to target that head is Andrew, but Ryder is able to break it over. I don't know why I keep saying, giving me the battery level warning for my controller when I have the charging cable plugged in.
Looks like he's starting to sweat now. This tag team match can.
Ryder goes for a cover. And Andrew powers out at 2. Nearly an elimination.
He is slowly getting dissected.
And Ryder thought about tagging in Mojo Rawley, and now will tag in Mojo Rawley. Who immediately goes for a cover.
Obviously hoping to end it quickly.
And Andrew powers out at 2. Kick by Rawley. Stomp to the arm. Andrew reverses with an elbow. Swinging neck breaker.
He may have to start reevaluating his game plan.
Forces Rawley to his feet. Rolling knee bar locked in. And pretty much immediately Rawley powers out. He may have caught a rope break there. Irish whip into the corner.
Nice reversal.
Reversal by Andrew. Reverse neck breaker. Or rather, reverse DDT. Irish whip into the hardcore cruiser's corner. And here comes the stampede. Andrew stomping away at Mojo Rawley. Tags in Aries, who will do the same.
He's looking a little weary here.
And now Andrew.
This tag team match are starting to dwindle.
Don't count him out yet, Michael.
And
I'd be shocked if this is the end of the
Andrew
road.
sends Aries
Much more of that.
into
And
Rawley
he's
with a
not gonna
drop
last
kick.
long.
Aries the legal man now. He goes for cover.
Oh, we got it covered.
And Rawley powers out at 2. The crowd chanting, "Let's go, Ryder," who's not the legal man right now, but the crowd behind the Hype Bros in this match. Aries to the top rope.
Oh my gosh.
Diving
I just
elbow
can't
drop
get over what
connects.
we saw. That was so great.
Reversal by Rawley.
Oh, reversal.
Reversal by Aries.
Knocked down.
Punch
What a
by
shot.
Aries.
He was able to reverse that.
And Rawley tags in
God,
Zack
he was really
Ryder.
inaccurate about that attempt at offense.
Oh, you're being too kind. Some people would use other words to describe what we just witnessed.
Irish whip into the ropes.
Looks like he's starting to sweat now.
Ryder
And you
catches
have
the
to
leg
assume
to
his
slam
partner
Aries
is
down
just
into the
itching to get
canvas.
in there right about
Stomp
now.
to the
And
leg.
it looks to me like neither of these guys are showing signs of pulling away
Stomp to the
Oh, it's
hip.
been a
Now
great
targeting the
matchup to this
arm.
point, and this could really go either way.
Ryder drags Aries closer to the center ring and goes for cover.
Hey, hoping to get out of here early with a win.
Oh,
What an
it's
escape
plugged in.
as he gets the shoulder up at 2.
Man, I thought that was going to be enough, Cole. If he keeps up this pace, this could turn real ugly real fast.
Ryder going for a submission.
He's got the ropes.
Boston
And the pin
Crab,
is
but Aries may have caught a rope there. Gets out of it pretty much instantly.
He gets out of trouble
Aries
there.
targets the arm.
What do you think Zack
Suplex
Ryder
by
needs to do
Aries.
now? Rather than continuing to absorb any more punishment, he might want to tag
Drags
out.
Ryder closer to the
These
center
guys
ring.
aren't giving an inch, but at some point, one of them got
Whereas Aries got a mind here. Stomp to the head, and now looking for the last chancery.
Oh my, there's the submission hold.
It's
He's
locked
the
in,
driver's
center
seat
ring,
now.
or we can
There's
see an
no
elimination.
escaping this.
Andrew tries to take care of Rawley, but Rawley is able to get past it. Is it too late? It's been locked in for quite some time. And that's it. Zack Ryder taps out to the last chancery. And Mojo Rawley stands alone against the Hardcore Cruisers. Irish whip into the corner. Aries with a reversal.
Great officiating as the ref noticed he was on the ropes.
Suplex.
Boy, he is
Aries
really
running low
tired
on
now.
stamina, taking some
That
time to
tank of his
recover.
has to be reading empty.
It has to be.
And now
King,
thinking
but I still
brainbuster.
don't see him giving up.
Look at this.
Lifts up the much larger Mojo Rawley.
Lights out.
Brainbuster connects.
This is insane. Does this building have a curfew? I feel like we might
Goes
be
for
here
cover.
all
He could pin his opponent right here.
I think this is it.
And Rawley powers out at 2.5.
Somehow, he's kicked it into another gear here tonight. He was one step ahead on that one.
Reversal by Rawley. Irish whip into the corner.
We know what this is.
Rawley
Good grief. Well, he's seen
splash in
worse.
the corner.
Watch it.
And a punch.
What a
Big sit up
move.
power bomb
Oh, man.
into a cover
He's
by
gotta figure out a
Rawley.
way to counterattack here.
But with no Zack Ryder to stop him, Andrew gets in the ring and breaks the
How
cover.
much damage did that do?
A lot from the looks of it.
And an attack to Rawley for good measure before Andrew returns to the apron.
This match has taken so
Both
much
legal
out of
men
this
are
guy.
down.
He's not going to give up. But
Rawley
man,
trying to crawl
this
over
has
for
been
possibly
physical.
a cover. Both men to a knee now. Aries will get up first. Punch by Aries.
What a match!
And a slam. He's working his way over to Andrew. Is he going to make a tag? Thought about it, but looks like he wants to finish this match himself. Series of stomps to the arm of Raleigh. Andrew taking some time to celebrate with the WWE Universe. And I think Aries was thinking about making a tag, but Andrew was distracted, so he goes another attack to Raleigh for good measure. Now Aries makes the tag to Andrew. Raleigh trying to use the ropes to get back to his feet. Andrew not allowing that to happen. Neck breaker.
Nothing that can't be shaken off.
Irish whip into the corner. Punch by Raleigh. Face buster. Raleigh goes for a cover.
Here's a cover. 2.
Andrew powers out at 2. Kick to the back. Stomp to the arm.
Seems like these guys are letting out a lot of
knee to the hip.
frustration tonight.
Leg drop, but Andrew was able to evade. And Raleigh reverses with a series of punches. Andrew back on the attack. Irish whip into the corner. Into the other corner.
I'm having a hard time figuring out what they're going to do next.
Clothesline and bulldog.
I've given up even trying to figure out what they're going to do next.
Andrew takes some time to celebrate. Forces Raleigh to his feet. Roy knee bar locked in. We saw one height bro eliminated by submission. Will Raleigh do the same? No, Raleigh breaks the hold with his one free leg. Forces Andrew in the corner with a punch. Now to the top turnbuckle. Andrew reverses with an elbow. Looking to take flight and will connect with the splash. Raleigh evades the stomp. Irish whip into the corner. Turns Andrew around in the corner. Andrew reverses. Sends Raleigh into the hardcore cruiser's corner. Clothesline. Bulldog.
Oh, a serious knockout blow. Wow.
Andrew
He's still down after that.
taking him up to fire up the WWE Universe. Forces Raleigh to his feet. Reversal by Raleigh, forcing Andrew on the apron. And not capitalizing on it, and Andrew just simply get right back in the ring. Irish whip into the corner. DDT. Forces Raleigh to his feet. Irish whip into the corner.
He's looking at it again.
Was Andrew of a mind here? Raleigh's on the middle rope. Andrew's outside the ring.
Oh my, what a move.
Drop kick from outside the ring to Raleigh's head dangling out on the apron. Goes for cover. And still Raleigh fights on. Put up a good fight. Springboard splash. Raleigh busted open with the knee of Andrew. Reversal by Raleigh.
Each of these competitors
goes for cover.
One. And the shoulders up now. That's
and Raleigh powers out, or rather Andrew powers out at 1.5.
Nice reversal.
Reversal by Andrew. Swinging neck breaker. Andrew low on stamina, but is able to make the cover. And still Raleigh fights on. The WWE Hardcore Cruisers have been in control pretty much from the bell, but you have to give credit to Mojo Raleigh staying in this match as long as he possibly can. Andrew running low on stamina, asking himself what's it going to take to put Raleigh away.
But I still don't see him giving up.
Irish whip into the corner. Raleigh reverses. And another splash. Reversal by Andrew with the elbow. Reverse. Swinging neck breaker. Andrew still low on stamina, but is able to make the cover. And again, Raleigh powers out at 2.
He was one step ahead on that one.
Near fall after near fall. Rawley reverses. Andrew reverses with the elbow.
Nice reversal.
Reversal by Rawley. Body slam. Kick by Rawley.
These guys giving this sold-out crowd exactly what they came to see. What an incredible match.
Forces Andrew to a knee. Power bomb. Rawley takes some time to recover.
Thank you for choosing to watch WWE on this Monday night. We promise to bring you a great night of action.
Rawley biding his time as Andrew falls over to the ropes, trying to get back to his feet, and will do so with a reversal and an elbow. Sends Rawley into the corner.
He's sending a message to the entire
Rawley reverses.
WWE locker room here.
Kick to the back. Targeting the arm. Knotted punches. Now Andrew's busted open. Stomp to that injured head. Nice Hurricane Rana by Andrew.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical.
Irish whip into the corner. Reversal by Rawley. Reversal by Andrew. Irish whip into the corner. Reversal by Rawley. Rawley. What's he have in mind here?
How awesome was that?
Goes through the bottom rope with a drop kick. Andrew using an OMG finisher earlier. Rawley responding with one of his own. And now here comes a regular finisher. Sit out powerbomb into a cover. We can see Mojo Rawley even the odds. No. Andrew still powers out at 2.5. Andrew giving everything he has. Rawley giving everything he has. Neither man staying down. Reversal by Andrew. Reversal by Rawley. Spine buster into a cover. And that nearly leads to a Hardcore Cruiser's victory, but Rawley powers out just in the nick of time. Irish whip into the corner. Reversal by Rawley. Andrew in a torture rack. And it's a rack attack by Mojo Rawley. Reversal by Andrew. DDT. Now Andrew looking to flatline Mojo Rawley and get the Hardcore Cruiser victory, but Rawley reverses. That would have likely been the end of this match, but Rawley reverses. Showing off his strength, lifting Andrew high above him, and now again looking for that sit-out powerbomb pinning combo. And it connects. Rawley with the cover. And Andrew is eliminated. What a hard-fought battle. It went on for quite some time between Rawley and Andrew. Rawley comes up the victor. The odds are even. It's Mojo Rawley representing the Hype Bros and Austin Aries representing the AA Hardcore Cruisers. These two teams know how big this match is. It could lead to one of these two teams could go on to face Enzo and Cass for the Raw Tag Team titles at SummerSlam. For the losing side, while not impossible, that road becomes a whole lot tougher.
You're right about that, Cole. This has been an all-out war.
Reversal by Rawley. Goes for cover. Series of elbow strikes by Rawley.
This has been a war.
You're right about that, Cole. This has been one of the most physical
knee drop.
battles I've witnessed in a long, long time.
Stomp to the arm.
He's pulling out all the stops tonight.
Knee to the hip.
Somehow, he's kicked it into another gear here tonight.
Aries targets the arm. Slam by Aries.
You're watching Raw, the longest running weekly episodic television
Reversal by Raleigh.
history.
Goes for cover.
Can his opponent kick out?
Aries powers out at 2. Series of elbow strikes to the shoulder of Aries.
Another great tag team match here tonight. I don't think the tag team scene has ever been hotter here.
And that was a huge
Reversal by Aries. Slam by Aries.
For years, Monday night has been the most exciting night in sports entertainment, and the action we're seeing here is
Forces Raleigh to his feet, but Raleigh with a reversal just tossing Aries off to the side. Raleigh misses with a kick, but follows up with a reversal.
He was able to reverse that.
Irish whip into the corner. Turns Aries around. And the splash in the corner. Raleigh's low on stamina. Aries capitalizes on that. DDT. Aries looking to take flight. Could he be looking to finish this with a 450 splash?
This match has taken so much out of taking a risk here.
He is looking for the 450 splash. It connects. Aries with the cover.
I think so.
And still Raleigh fights on. How can he have anything left in the tank? Aries looking to take flight again.
Look out!
This time going for a splash, but Raleigh evades. Is that going to cost Aries? Goes for cover. Aries powers out at 2. Raleigh targets the head of Aries.
No kidding. What a matchup. This has been a classic.
Reversal by Aries.
Will it be?
With a cover. Arms pinned down, and that's going to lead to a Hardcore Cruisers victory. What a hard-fought battle by the Hype Bros and Hardcore Cruisers, specifically Mojo Rawley and Andrew. And neither team really deserving to lose, but it's going to be the WA Hardcore Cruisers getting the victory and moving up to the number 2 slot, previously held by the Hype Bros. Alright, so the WA Hardcore Cruisers with a big victory. They'll move up to that number 2 slot, previously held by the Hype Bros, at least as of right now.
Enough of the prelims. Time for the main event. Triple threat action coming up next. We have one of our breakout talents against 2 of WWE's toughest competitors.
Alright, and John Cena taking on Dean Ambrose, the Universal Champion, and Baron Corbin. So we're going to have to wait another week for Cena to cash in the Money in the Bank, since he's already facing Ambrose and it's a triple threat. And John Cena will be putting that U.S. title on the line. So this match for the U.S. Championship, will Dean Ambrose go on to hold both singles titles on Raw? Will Baron Corbin, who's been on the rise, become United States champion? Or will the U.S. title open challenge live on another week? It will live on another week. John Cena remains U.S. champion. Alright, so we move on to the next event, which is SmackDown Live. Will we see the Intercontinental Champion Corey in action? Oh, and Mojo Rawley sustained an injury during that Hardcore Cruisers and Hype Bros match. Let's see how severe. It says he can continue to compete. We know he was busted open for a good part of the match, but continued fighting. But looks like that may have cost him staying in that match as long as he did. It's a minor head injury, 2 weeks, so nothing severe, but of course that could escalate to a major head injury and then eventually a critical injury, which would put him out of action and force Zack Ryder to return to singles wrestling exclusively. Alright, so let's take a look at the SmackDown Live card. Will we see Corey in action? He is pictured in right there in the Tonight Show, so looks like we will see him in action. Cesaro and Sheamus, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, take on American Alpha. The Ascension takes on Beauty and the Man Beast. SmackDown Women's Champion Eva Marie takes on her opponent at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch, as well as the real life SmackDown Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. Aaliyah takes on Charlotte. Sami Zayn takes on Big Show, and Corey, after a 1 week break, taking on Jinder Mahal, returns to his rivalry with Finn Balor. That match is a Falls Count Anywhere match, and that will be our episode 66 match. So Corey versus Finn Balor in episode 66. Just a few days before Battleground. If Balor wins, then it will be Corey versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title at Battleground, just 5 days away. If Balor loses, then it will likely be AJ Styles getting a rematch for the Intercontinental title, or maybe one of those other men like Sheamus, Sami Zayn, probably out of the picture, but you never know. So Balor with an opportunity to lock himself in for an Intercontinental Championship match in the continuation of this rivalry. Big implications for the number one contendership and Battleground in episode 66. So until then, this is Corey signing off.